come on. I thought you were like, what are you doing? I thought this was okay. This feels like a cocky pick to me. Like
I mean, it's actually a really good.
It's very good versus Drow. It's very good versus Mirana because she can't leap out of the pounce. It owns the tombstone. Usually melee heroes don't. I mean, it is, but Slark is a hero. Sorry, BSJ. It's not the best.
This is way better than earlier, though. Like earlier, he was against a Shadow Demon and Lion, both of which have disables that go through Dark Pact. So it's like in this game, at least, he has no stopping him right now. No natural hex builder.
What kind of? I mean, that means you need a core. Well, I mean, what core would round out NIP that counters Slark?
Core Lion.
Bring back the Dandy 2008. Just do it.
That's an idea. I actually don't see anything that's on. Oh, Core Shaman. Okay, Core Shaman.
Pushes Drow threat with Core Shaman.
Honestly, I don't know if we're judging. I mean, it doesn't sound. You might as well just go all in, right? Like they did with the Razor. I would take a Rost over a Razor.
Using like a Kunkka too. That was the last pick that Secret utilized against Slark.
What I would love to see is an OD. I know we hate that hero, but it's so good against Slark, so good against Dazzle, so good against Axe.
Yeah, but is it 200 mana or 250 for the orb?
It's only 180, I think, max.
180. Oh, okay, only 180.
Only 180. You know, if they're gonna whip out creative picks, you know,
true.
that would be the one I would think of. It's like there's not very many ranged heroes that counter Slark. If they want to go that route, they could just go like the tanky builder.
They've been
really good against Mirana. And you don't want to give them the ocean themed lineup either. Kunkka and the Slark.
So do you think, well, I mean, I'm still wondering, so NIP, I still think it's the Mirana middle, or do you guys think it'll be the like Mirana win range draw off lane with the Drow aura?
Mirana win range, it doesn't sound like.
No. Sounds like they're getting each other's way.
Are they just refusing to Broodmother, by the way, on VP? Is that, like, Dazzle Brood's pretty strong, you can, like, heal bomb the spiders?
Part of it is they're picking the Rams. Last game was want to pick because he's also the Brood player.
Oh,
yeah.
Pasha can. He plays out of the offlane, but no one is not a
There's
Slark
not a
player.
no one
He's
here,
not a
yeah.
TP player. He's not a Brood player.
Give no one the axe, whatever.
Do you think it could be a Core Phoenix? That's done quite a bit, though.
I think they usually do that when, like, Solo plays the axe, though. But he's going to definitely be playing Dazzle this game.
They could just go DK again, honestly. Just any high armor tanky heroes that get in your face are good against the Drow lineups.
It seems VP just likes picking those where, like, at a certain minute in the game, they don't take damage in team fights.
They have no tower pressure either. Yeah, they just go
They
DK
will.
again, okay.
I think it's fine.
OD looks even better, man.
I mean,
If they pick that hero, if
they pick it, I don't know if it's the right pick, but
let's pick Razor again, guys.
I mean, Razor versus Slark and DK is and Axe. I mean, no matter what, you get a guaranteed lane where you're going to get it off. I mean, I wouldn't suggest it, but
They're going to do it, man.
they might.
Outworld Devour coming in hot.
I think if they OD or Razor. I actually don't know what they pick. I'm trying to think.
They honestly could just Storm. It's actually a really good Storm. Kind of mediocre against DK.
Yeah, like
Like DK Axe can really get on top.
If they don't pick OD, that means that hero's unpickable. This is like the best OD game in his. There you go, Timber.
This time they do.
Okay.
It's not as good this game, but it's still very good.
I feel like it was better last game.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I still think it's very good, but
It doesn't actually beat DK in lane. It free farms, but DK will have a fine start. The thing about Timber is he just makes it hard for DK to actually apply any tower pressure because he'll just follow you wherever you go.
oh, and it is going to be the Wind Ranger Mirana lane, it looks like, with who's playing what. And I'll be curious to see. I mean, it is a ton of damage output with that Drow aura, so it's just if they get harassed out of lane early, it could be curtains.
I think they're gonna dodge. They'll put Slark bottom or top. I mean.
All right, well, I just like VP's draft. It's a lot more simple to execute. They have better team fight. They have a DK who can just frontline. They just won't take damage again with Dazzle, DK, Axe. Phoenix backing him up.
How does Timber die though? Last game there was an what's gonna kill?
Slark actually benefits from heroes that don't want to die. I'm gonna go with VP too. Sorry, Grand. Doesn't look good for you, but I feel like Slark last game like almost won, or the previous series, and it was a hard Slark game. I actually feel like this is about as good of a Slark game as it gets, as long as he gets out of the first 5 minutes.
Full on pass or panel curse this one.
All right, okay.
So NIP has a good chance.
All three of them on the Virtus Pro train then in game number 2. Are they going to wrap things up? A question we'll pose to our commentators, because they are ready to guide you through game number 2. Gents, it's a clean sweep over here. Is it in agreement or not?
I'd love to disagree with the panel. It seems like a good Timber game, but if there are 2 supports that can make Slark work, it's Dazzle and it's Phoenix.
I don't know, maybe if there's anything that can let NIP win, it's a panel curse, because PPD just can't beat Virtus Pro. It's been a long-standing problem for him. We'll see if this one can finally do it, Paul.
Yeah, that's the other curse to try and break, isn't it? Good luck, gents. Enjoy game 2.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Timber, that's my question here.
Timber?
Can he do it? I mean, the hero, he needs a great start, but I mean, Drow lineups in general need a good start anyway, so they're hoping for the whole lineup to get things going, but you heard BSJ say the first 5 minutes for Slark, most important thing, and he knows that little fish man better than anyone.
Exactly right. He was on the edge of his seat during that first Slark pick we saw today, and very surprised to see Slark picked up, not even to counter the Arc Warden VP, hoping just to show the merits of this hero. And I really do think Dazzle is one of the best supports to pair with a hero like this, because his early laning phase is so brutal. Dazzle actually has a way to keep him alive.
Yeah, and Solo's just looked absolutely fantastic on this hero.
Yeah.
The past couple months here. So good at zoning people out, using that poison touch. He's already got it rocking and ready to go here, as Ramsey will take the first bits of harass here from mind control.
And already a tip comes out from Ramses, and back and forth, showing
there's
a good
been some
sign.
all chat back and forth, you know, Ramsey's team Liquid here. So they're enjoying themselves here on the main stage in Malaysia.
Absolutely. Bounty is looking to be an even spread per usual here. Trent 2 apiece as NIP grab the South 2, and Virtus Pro secure both up top.
When you have questions about how the lane's going to go, you've always got a couple heroes that can try and interrupt the normal balance of things, and Axe is probably the best one. I mean, Timbersaw, sure, he's like very irritating, gets level 3, so you can't kill him, but Pasha is just looking to take the laning stage out of the equation and just force Drow to play under the tower. How can he play aggressive and an Undying if you just have to fight in creep waves the whole time?
Yep. So it will settle down into dual lanes here. This mid will be Bata versus no one. PPD's already rotated up top. You can't see it on the split screen, but Pasha is cutting this wave already, putting things in favor of VP up top.
I love the tri lane. It's just like, wait a second, where's this lane? Where's Peter going? Oh, there he is.
And down bottom, mind control, caught by a pounce.
Yeah, the big counter. But a shackle from Sox will keep him safe. So when it comes to this idea of the Mirana versus the Slark, I mean, this is a nice lane match for him. When that's off-lane Mirana was at its like peak of popularity, Slark actually saw a slight resurgence just because of how strong the pounce is there. And
yeah, look at
the power of this Dazzle, man.
Level 1 poison touch, it's nasty. And Slark definitely has issues getting on people. That's where he wants to be, stacking up that essence shift. Poison touch just makes it even easier. Up top, we'll see some ring around the rosy. Pasha trying to pull these creeps around. PPD in hot pursuit.
Here's the weird thing about this Undying thing. It's like you keep getting these decay stacks. And you're like, okay, look, he's only got 400 health. But that doesn't change any of the impact of the creep damage because of the way the block works.
Well, Solo will get punished for that aggressive posture down bottom. Saxa securing the kill there. And now we're going to see this little skirmish break out. PPD versus Pasha. So far, so good for the Axe. He's gotten a lot of spins against these creeps. PPD not going to go down, but can't really stop Pasha from doing this.
Yeah, getting a little unlucky there, I would even say, on the spins. I honestly feel like PPD might have mathematically died there.
Top tower is under attack.
So what do we expect out of this mid lane, Trent? DK versus Timbersaw. I'm thinking it's going to be mostly a farm fest, at least until level 6 comes out.
Yeah, I would say the Timber's actually doing quite well to start things off here. Like, you don't have too much damage. You have to commit to the Quelling Blade, but you're just fighting Whirling Death versus the Breathe Fire. Pretty even stuff there, 100 versus 90. So life's good, as he said. Farm fest.
Not too often you'll see a mid lane like that with virtually no denies. No one picks up his first here.
Now Ace in a bit of a pickle here. He's actually been zoned off his tower too. Like stuck in behind, but Roger maybe not sure where that Undying is, so he's a little bit hesitant to pressure fully.
And the Drow Ranger definitely struggling to secure these last hits under the tower. PPD opting just to rotate mid now to pressure no one a little bit. Feeling like he can't really do much to stop this Axe. Pasha now farming the jungle as well as the neutrals. Everything going his way.
Gives him the tip like, oh, so you're going to come to my lane. You know, I picked this Axe. He just disrupts the flow of the top, so this is your choice here. Well, Ace will join him.
Yeah, we've got 3 heroes mid, but not for long. Fata, he'll just TP up top. NIP pulling the full lane swap to try to get some farm on this precious Drow Ranger.
Right, it makes sense, right? Who would you rather have farming under a tower, a Timbersaw or a Drow?
Yeah.
But in the end, the unfortunate thing is that Pasha is getting complete and utter free farm, and he accelerates faster than you because he farms the jungle camps at the exact same time.
Yep.
But the question and the problem we've seen from some of these axes is actually taking this gold and having an impact further in the game.
Roger taking a lot of damage up top. Fata unrelenting as he timber chains forward. Almost finishes off Roger, though he is able to heal up. Timber chain across will secure the kill. And that level 4 Timbersaw with a little more money under his belt.
Yeah, a couple of nices there from Fata as he grabs that one. In lane versus a strength hero always feels good as a Timbersaw. So he's happy with that match, but now he gets a little bit of jungle action to himself.
But on that note about Pasha, you're absolutely right. We've seen some axes get a start like this and then sort of fall flat into the mid game. He is going to go for the Vanguard first.
Solo again. Yeah. I mean, he has to play so aggressive here, so it's understandable why this keeps happening.
Still a tough lane for Ramses.
PPD.
Level 3, we'll see PPD now. Gets bumped into Roger and no one. Double damage rune on the Phoenix makes it an easy kill. Roger getting some vengeance.
It's actually surprisingly going to be the first kill there for VP.
Uh-oh, Ramses, he's going to take a tumble down bottom. There's a little too much burst damage for the Fishman to handle. But now back mid, VP with a rotation. Ace going to bump right into the Axe. Berserker's call. Plenty of follow-up damage. PPD will TP in with a Soul Rip, but it's not going to be enough to keep the Drow alive as Pasha secures the kill with the Culling Blade.
And Sox is coming through. He's got 2 points in the power shot, but doesn't look like he can find the damage there. We got ourselves a little bit of a replay there. Just catch up on what happened in the bottom lane when we were checking up top. There's a nice little shackle setup into an arrow for the secure onto Solo for the first blood there.
Great combo.
Look at production. Helping us out there when we're missing things. Thanks, guys.
Well, NIP with the slight advantage coming out of this laning phase. Axe doing very well, but the other 2 cores on VP certainly not having a nice laning phase. Down bottom, Ramses gets shackled but falls again. It's just too much damage with this off lane. 5-2.
Okay, I mean, the Slark certainly works when you can play it really aggressively, but I think just even with it only being 8 damage, it definitely adds up between 2 ranged heroes, and the Wind Ranger is not a very easy kill target, so although they can try and focus down something like Mind Control and you can't leap away, I think Sox is just helping them stay way too low to actually get aggressive on the Mind Control, and that means Ramsey just keeps on falling. And it's certainly one of those snowballing effects. Like, he just went down again, no TP available, so 10 more seconds, so he's losing out on so much time.
Yep. This is that window where Slark is just counting the seconds until he can find his level 6. Meanwhile, up top, Pasha and Fata having a bit of a battle. Pasha bringing him down pretty low. The Timber Chain not going to take Fata too far, but not going to get him in the threshold for the Culling Blade. Forces a TP from Saksa and will head back, although kind of doubles back into the lane and will repel the Wind Ranger after all.
Yeah, not enough mana to create a turnaround there on the Fatas as Arcanes. We're still on CD, so he'll just patiently go back to the farming life, but once again, Pasha's just always trading better than you, right? 70 last hits at this point, almost doubling up on the Timbersaw simply because of adding on these jungle creeps every single time.
Bottom lane, see the rotation. Nice leap from Mind Control. Actually dodges the pounce. Solo and Roger will still pursue, but it's a haste rune on the Marana that was tucked away in the bottle.
Flap
so they
those
won't be
wings,
able to
baby. That is not right. I'd have to agree, Solo. Something doesn't look quite correct there.
It's a dazzling death, my friend.
No one doing pretty well in the mid. Number 4 overall in net worth. About even with the Marana. Is level 7 now. Back down bottom. Pursuit onto Roger.
Oh, Pasha takes some tower shots here in the mid lane. He's trying to get aggressive onto Ace. But yeah, Roger takes both shots there. Ramses will start to intercept. Perhaps worried about the arrow coming back soon.
Shackle does latch onto Solo. The level 4 Dazzle has Shallow Grave now, so maybe things a little bit easier for Ramses if he gets caught overextended. He is also closing in on his level 6.
So it's a tri-lane in the bottom. That means they're going to try a little bit of aggression on Noah, but he just stands completely tall and tanks these last hits. Yeah. Feels like nothing coming from NIP right now.
Double Bracer, 2 points in Dragon Blood, as DK is pretty tanky.
Meanwhile, Ramses is just trying to hope that his supports can stay far enough away for the moment so he can try and get to level 6, salving up now too even. Really wants that Shadow Dance. Perhaps we'll see a rotation too.
He finds a courier. That's going to be a
nice
misplay from Fata there as he just flies it straight overhead.
We've seen that a shocking amount of times with these axes.
An easy kill with that Culling Blade.
Oh, Shackle now.
Sets up the arrow. Shallow Grave, not going to save you this time, Solo. Saksa gets another.
And now they've even brought Peter down here too. He's level 3, but he still has a 1/1/1, so all his options available here. They might commit the Tombstone just to try and force this down. Get Ramses away from XP range. And
Ramses in some trouble. He does pounce onto PPD, but another Shackle. Solo's there with the Shallow Grave in time. They're going to try to finish off the Tombstone. They'll get it.
He's
but
so
Ramses just shy of level 6, will not survive. Perfectly timed gank for NIP. They are going to lose PPD, it looks like. Moonlight Shadow, the Berserker's Call falls a little bit short, but Battle Hunger will do the trick.
In the mid lane, they're going to grab the kill onto Roger, as well as Ace burning down.
And a tier 1 tower that will get finished off by no one. So a victory for VP there in the mid lane.
Oh, but right back
down
to the
bottom.
bottom.
The Shackle into Arrow. Easy stuff for Saksa, but Pasha with the counter initiation jumps in onto Mind Control. One last leap will take him back to safety.
Not the way he's hoping to start with the Blink Dagger. Mind Control will once again slip away here, even trying to hold his wand charges. Looks like he'll be successful in that endeavor too, but at the very least, Ramses has found himself that level 6 up top.
Even though this Slark has been struggling, the Drow Ranger really hasn't had a much better experience. She's only a couple hundred net worth ahead of him, now relegated into the jungle. Got the marksmanship a little bit quicker than last game, but still not really the dream start for the squishy Ranger.
And so now this will become the battle of Fata versus Pasha. See who can transition their laning stage into an actual impact on this game. I think this Timbersaw, like, if you're not playing in between the tier 1 and the tier 2, I feel like you're not having the best game. Like, he got forced in a situation where he's like tanking under a tower. Honestly, a Spectre can do that, you know? That doesn't feel too good when that's what you're making use of your Timbersaw for.
Yeah, absolutely. 10-minute bounty is around the corner. And Mind Control will be able to grab one. We'll see Pasha skirmishing down here. He does pick up the rune, but takes a lot of damage in return. Berserker's Call connects onto the Timbersaw. Now Saksa rotating over. No latch on the Shackle. Pasha still goes down. Shallow Grave does not come out in time. Now Solo on the run will be silenced. He's going to go down as well. A double for Ace. No one pops the Dragon Form, trying to put some damage into Fata, but can they actually find this kill? Roger's only level 4 here. They do manage to get Fata after all.
I'm not sure if he had a stick on the Courier or something, but the lack of that for a Timber really hurting him.
There's a Supernova, but not what you want to use against the Wind Ranger. However, Saksa will have to run away as no one is in pursuit. There was a Dragon Tail available.
They did get the big kills that they needed, no question about that. Unfortunately, in the end, it'll still be a loss of gold there for the Timbersaw. Now, he is transitioning some of his own net worth essentially onto the Drow by getting those picks for Ace, but
PPD in some trouble here, Trent. Berserker's Call is available. They've got a dust for the Moonlight Shadow. Arrow flies through, but it will split the nines and not connect.
Maybe trying to break things up there to help him, but not going to be there in time.
Radiance queued up for this Dragon Knight.
It's a Drow Ranger strat. You always want the Radiance if you can, but good Shackle there. Quite the angle onto Roger.
Yep, no Supernova, and he'll go down. I don't know if Supernova would have been enough to save him anyhow.
I'd hope not. That'll be a little ridiculous.
So a very tight game here as Pasha bumps into Mind Control in the jungle. Does not have any reinforcements nearby, so this will have to be a solo kill. Gets the Mirana low, but stick charges pick her right back up, and now the turn back the other way. Some zombies chasing him down. Arrow off the mark, but they will not pursue. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Ramsey is actually able to push in that tower.
That's a pretty big win for a Slark like that. Like, not typically the hero you imagine solo pushing a tower, but all that space made by Pasha. He is having an impact here with those early waves that he stole from the side of NIP with very little recourse.
Really making decent progress towards that Shadow Blade. Always the key item that Slark needs to really come online, start hunting around the map, and have a semblance of a threatening
Solo
presence.
maybe thinking about denying down here. I don't know, the star's pretty low.
32 HP.
Sox is going to come in for this one as they will find Mind Control, but yeah, Soxa gets it.
Very
nice attempt, but not going to happen.
And now no one might be in some trouble. Fata jumps forward. Solo does have a level 2 Shadow Wave and heals him back up. It's Soxa that's low, trying to make it into the tree line. They'll reset the Poison Touch, and the damage over time should be enough. He'll fall. Fata still putting a lot of damage into no one. The weave now utilized to try to squish up this reactive armor. Pasha catches him with the Berserker's Call. Will they be able to finish off this Timber Saw, though? They stun him during the chain, but now Ace joining the party. Phoenix not able to get off the Supernova, and he goes down. Still a 1-for-2 favoring Virtus Pro, but NIP do get a pick-me-up.
Yeah, they grab the blink cancel there onto Pasha to stop the chase, but now it's Ramses coming through too.
He catches 2. A perfect setup, and Ramses jumps into the back line on Ace. NIP in big trouble. They've lost mind control. They'll lose Ace and PPD trying to find an escape in the trees.
Coming on through. There's no stopping the pain train. Peter just hoping to... Oh, he's actually going to find his way through there with that last tango.
All right.
One in the tank will juke the side of Virtus Pro.
Moral victory for NIP, but...
Indeed, that's about the only one.
Yeah, Virtus Pro feeling very strong right now. Still a pretty small lead, only about 1K net worth, but asserting their dominance. And more importantly, making precious space for this Slark.
Fata never even ended up getting his items off that courier. After it died, too, he's just like sitting with like a raindrop. Got a bunch of clarities and a mango and stuff, too, but I really feel like he's missing a wand, too. Like, he's been definitely engaging and battling. Feels like he just runs out of gas, and that's the end of it. Not feeling Timber in this game.
Yeah, they've done a good job preventing him from just taking over. As we mentioned, both Fata and Pasha had really good starts, and definitely seems like Pasha is the one that's using that momentum to propel his team forward.
He has a good hero pairing, though, with the Mirana, right? Like, this hero is also ready to start playing very aggressively, even if she only has a Staff of Wizardry. But the side of Virtus Pro, well read here.
Not often you'll see Mirana's forced into a Yule's Scepter, but feels like a pretty key item against Slark. If you get caught by that pounce otherwise, you're in big trouble. Drow Ranger also looking for her Shadow Blade. So a little bit behind the Slark, as she did stop off for that Dragon Lance first. Ramses.
Shadows, take us.
Head back to friendly territory here. Not going to put that Invis Rune to good use.
Under attack.
Moonlight Shadow on the other side. Sentry Ward down. Pasha catches Fata. Roger and Solo nearby, but a little bit light on lockdown. There's the Supernova. Fata able to Timber Chain away, but it's so much damage over time. They do have a dust, but can they close the gap?
He needs a big blink here from Pasha. Will he find him in the tree line? Oh, he hesitates.
So close for Pasha, but Fata will live.
All right, there we go. Some impact from the Timber now, drawing all that attention, trying to create some space across the map. Of course, wherever Timber is, you can pretty much guarantee Ace will be on the opposite side, and they have picked off no one. And of course, we'll slow down any build up towards that Radiance that he's thinking about.
Still great farm on this Dragon Knight. Second on net worth overall.
Doubt. What worries me the most, though, is that if this Timber, like, you kind of heard the panel talking about it, but if the Timber's not scary, he's just a meat bag for Slark. Like, he's going to hit so many stacks off of him.
Right.
And I just feel like at this point, like, when this Bloodstone comes out, they're going to have to find some marvelous fights for NIP. Or it's just going to be this dead item that just puts them even further into a depression here versus Virtus Pro.
It feels like the right item, but a risky one. You can't take that fight. Oh, nice pickup from Pasha. Just an illusion rune, but still a nice play.
Yeah, it's great on X. Cut some waves, get some free gold.
True.
Once again, Stoxel will be going for this kind of farming, trying to transition into a core build. Heading in towards that Maelstrom very shortly here.
Seems like he always finds a lot of farm on this hero, even in games like this where his team is doing a pretty good job soaking up the jungle and the lanes.
I mean, he's got like 40 last hits too, though, so it kind of shows that he's being given some space that could be going to other cores. Like, he's right alongside the Timbersaw and the Mirana, so on the one hand, it's kind of nice to have this like little block of heroes, but only really works if you're engaging and actively making use of this like earlier net worth. Otherwise, it feels like it's just slowing down Timbersaw, who's trying to find that explosive moment.
Things taking a slightly more passive turn here as both sides try to farm up this first round of core items. The Shadow Blade now out on the Slark. We'll see the Echo Saber queued up next.
These fights are... I feel like this fight's going to be absolutely brutal with the Radiance. I feel like VP are going to absolutely thrash them.
Yep. The Relic's already out, and only 1,000 gold to go for no one. Down bottom, Ramses bumps into Fata, forces out a Moonlight Shadow. NIP perhaps thinking that Virtus Pro are looking for a bigger rotation, but it's just a Slark.
That's going to be very taxing on poor Solo here. I mean, he's done this plenty of times. He spends so much gold on sentries, and he has no GPM time. I mean, look at this bottom area. My God.
Big ancient stack here for no one. Looks like a triple stack that is, as he clears it out. That's pretty much going to be the Radiance gold right there.
Got to get some assistance from this GPM Phoenix in a minute here. As Rogers at least almost at 10. He'll be picking up the Spirit Vessel very shortly, too. And another thing that's like Fada, again, he's looking towards a Bloodstone first, and then he's going to get Spirit Vessel. And do you think that's going to feel very good as a Timber Saw? I don't think so.
Nope. The Shadow Blade now also up on the Drow Ranger. Looking to upgrade that Dragon Lance into a Hurricane Pike as well. The farm is still pretty even, though it's 15 to 10, but it just feels like Virtus Pro are the ones kind of setting the tempo, and they'll be the aggressors once these items are picked up. There's the Blade Mail now on the Axe. They're getting close to hunting season.
I think I'm looking towards the supports and light engagements too, kind of like the placement of the egg versus the placement of the tombstone. I think if either of those are essentially perfect from those supports, they can kind of win these fights for their team. They're relatively well mirrored here, but Solo, he's the one up front. Again, another sentry down. It does spot Ace. And ninth one's the charm here in this bottom area.
Yep, that's pretty much your Shadow Blade reveal right there.
At the same time, Dire have a sentry down too, so they've spotted the advancement of Ramses, and everyone knows they're just playing around here. And it's Soxa who's the little victor, right? He's pushing the wave all the way to the tower. Life's good. No fights are actually popping off down bottom.
BKB coming out next for him. Virtus Pro starting to push forward. Pasha thinking about the opening, but who's he going to find?
There's the Radiance now.
It's been delivered, completed. No one drops the stun onto Fata. Also putting a lot of damage into that tier 1 tower.
He wants to just force a bad tombstone. Just like throwing out a stun like that. See if they commit for the fight, and then he's going to be backed up by a grave here. They can counter initiate with the egg. No one wants to be the first mover, really.
Oh, sidesteps the arrow, and on the other side, PPD caught by the Berserker's Call.
That arrow hitting Roger, though, means there's no counterplay yet.
There's the grave. It's going to keep the Phoenix alive. PPD with a Soul Rip. He'll also survive, but the Tombstone won't be so lucky. They force out a Supernova. The bottom tier 1 goes down, but Soxa secures a tier 1 in the mid lane, making it an okay trade for NIP.
Yeah, Solo just has to say, guys, I'm out of sentries. There's no more left in the inventory here. Please, we got it back.
The Moonlight Shadow has been deployed. Ramses able to survive against the Timber Saw. Double damage rune picked up by Ace. Not sure what he'll be able to do with it, though.
Okay, Fada, it's time. Get himself in towards that hood, and then he's ready to battle with this Bloodstone. Try and build up those charges, increase his farm speed. See if he can be the big carry that his team needs. So this is the Bloodstone Smoke, a classic, and he'll take any free target. Roche also, again, oh my god, it was a DD in the last one that baited them in, but this time we'll see how well it goes. As in the bottom lane, it's Pasha and Mind Control also duking things out.
BP not in the best position to try to deal with this. Pasha does not get the Berserker's Call, but on the other side, Phoenix is breaking up this Roshan attempt.
Yeah,
they'll kill Solo. Roger does get caught on the other side, and it's 2.
That's a double kill. 16 charges for Fada. He wants the chase down here.
BP does pull him out of the Roche pit, though. He's still standing, and now they catch Mind Control. He's got the Yule Scepter, but won't even be able to use it. Berserker's Call secures the kill. 2 down on each side. This risky play from NIP has not worked out yet, and now a buyback comes from Mind Control.
Hey, a buyback here. I mean, the Phoenix didn't have the egg. It's coming in 20 seconds. I don't know if they can get back in here in time. It's very low, but Virtus Pro have also not really committed for this. They know the Tombstone's still up. They still have an idea of what's going on in the pit.
They do have an Elder Dragon form available on no one.
Fada getting the free stacks here from Roche in case there's a fight.
Value. NIP backing up. It's definitely the right call. They cannot charge head-on into the pit.
Feels like a painful buyback from Mind Control, though. Of course, they still have to control the area. It's understandable, but you know you really want to try and secure these things when you have to go for it. So they still continue to hold the high ground. They have the Moonlight Shadow. And Fada's going to scout out this pit now.
Sentry wards coming down. Both sides have a lot of vision here. Phoenix will use the egg to try to buy some time. They need to make a big decision as Pasha catches one with the Berserker's Call. Roche goes down, picked up by Ramses. They kill the Drow Ranger. Immediate buyback. They do get a counter kill. Oh, no. Solo with the grave. He survives. VP.
They get the Tombstone. He's going to live. And Power Shot misses too, but they're going to find Ramses.
Or are they? Pasha jumps in with a beautiful Berserker's Call. Pasha, is he going to be able to finish these kills off, though? Ace trying to make it out, and down they go. A triple kill for no one. Fata will deny himself. Now PPD gets left behind and the ultra kill is secured. It was a chaotic fight, but Virtus Pro find the better of it. They get the Roche, they get the kills, diebacks on top of that. The economy of NIP now crippled.
No, look at the damage from this Dragon Knight. 5,200. He's just in there. This Radiance is destroying everyone. The mischance on top of that 2 versus a Drow Ranger strat. It's always a brutal aura to fight against.
So close, though. That Slark was just about to go down. Pasha playing that fight so well with his constant counter initiations. We'll look at the replay here.
And I love this egg, too. This is when the Phoenix first started coming as this huge hero. It doesn't really matter if the egg gets off. Of course, it's going to be worse if it does, but it's still a matter of just like, it wasted time. Yep. We get the Aegis. It's fully secured, and they simply can't get their way into the pit. And then all of these great plays to Solo saving himself, and then the eventual jump in from Pasha to keep this Aegis alive.
This is the moment where it looks like Ramses might go down. It was a great silence, but Pasha is right there. He's got his carries back and just sets it up for no one to dunk it into the net.
He's just in there, you know? Look at that body, just flapping around, burning everybody down.
Scariest part here, Trent, is that VP still have the Aegis.
Crowd loves that blue hair. They're very into it.
Over 3 minutes until the Aegis will expire, so a pretty good window for VP here. 10,000 net worth lead.
Rogers, real deep here, trying to get some wards down. That's going to be spotted.
Yep, gets pinged immediately. Uh-oh, double damage. Up by Ramses. What will he find?
He's on the prowl, but there are some sentries down here.
Moonlight Shadow soon to expire. Yule's Scepter, gonna set up for the arrow onto Solo. Looks like a quick pick on the Dazzle. No
that
shallow
power
trade.
shot gives away Soxa though.
And on the other side, Soxa gets dunked. It's a 1-for-1.
And the threat is definitely there from Virtus Pro. They want this Timber. He got the deny off last time. Berserker's Call still on cooldown. Find him now. Oh, nice jump.
More follow-up damage. There's the egg. Fata able to Timber chain away. But NIP only able to play defensive in this skirmish. Now no one jumps in the back line. It's PPD caught by the stun. The Sunray burning him down, and he will fall. Another one up on the scoreboard for no one.
And a stun too. He's pressing forward on the mind control.
Mind control. He's going to leap. Is it going to be enough, though? Those auto attacks chasing him down. He'll live on 60 HP.
Oh, 16 as it gets into the well. In the end, though, I mean, sure, it's a slight victory for you, but your tier 3 is losing HP drastically fast.
Ramses gets low, but he's able to back up. He'll regen up. They force the glyph. No one still with a lot of time on this Elder Dragon farm. Pasha jumps in onto the Drow Ranger. Yule's the counter initiate. Silence on the Dragon Knight, still slowing things down. Ace almost burns to death. It's going to be close and he'll fall. The damage over time is too much as now Pasha in deep trying to make it out on the other side. Soxa goes down. Ramses is reinitiated. The Slark taking heavy damage. Remember, still with the Aegis. Can afford to be aggressive here. They get the stun onto Fata. Fata in big trouble. The Timbersaw's down. NIP are crumbling. 4 in the grave, 3 without buyback. Timbersaw up in 10, but now this tier 3 is down. They found Soxa behind the throne. VP making it sting as the ultra kill comes out for Pasha. Virtus Pro at 26 minutes could be moments away from securing this series.
Oh, they're tipping Peter. They're taking Barracks.
They want tier 4s, baby.
Tier 2s in both lanes. They say go for the throne. They want to hear the crowd with the applause. They love winning here.
Ramses will throw away the Aegis.
That's a regen for a BKB.
Absolutely, buying some time for his team. Very slow sieging though. They actually don't kill these tier 4s very quickly without the Elder Dragon form, and VP will not be able to close out this game here. But a lot of damage done. NIP maybe hoping for a consolation kill.
Oh, a smoke back here.
It's a fake back. VP go right back in. They jump onto the Timbersaw. There's the Supernova. They've got no way to take it down.
Well, they can't get it.
It goes off and the Mirana dies. That's a dead Mirana. No buyback as Ace relegated past the tier 4s. Low on HP, out of options, and brought down. 4 of NIP stuck in the grave. Fata, the lone survivor, unable to do much. The BKBs get popped and he'll be killed as well.
Well, I think this time they might be able to finish it, but the buybacks are going to try and dissuade them from Fata.
GG.
No, that is it.
Virtus Pro absolutely unrelenting. What an unbelievable way to close out that game. Diving past the tier 4s, diving past the throne, and then the incredible fake back for that